a certain order even in your chaos, even in your mess, even in your difficulty, even in the place where you're about to give up. In my book, Hosting Heaven, Learning to Hear the Voice of God for Your Life, I talk about a beautiful encounter that I had with the voice of God while I was flying from Zimbabwe to Cape Town. I remember I was just sitting on my seat and the Lord said, look down. And so I looked down, and I write about this in my book, Hosting Heaven. He said, I want you to look down and I want you to tell me what you see. So I looked down and I began to see so many different things that were on a plateau. There were houses, there were roads, there were large skyscrapers, which interestingly looked very small from that altitude, and everything just looked so minuscule and so small. I remember the Lord said, when you look from up here, what do you see? And so I looked even deeper, and I realized that there was a certain order in which the town planner of the city of Cape Town had built the city. It was an order that you would not be able to naturally see if you're walking down the streets of Cape Town, but when you flew up a higher altitude, you were able to see the intentionality of the planner. And I said, Lord, I see order. And the Lord began to minister to me in that moment. And He said, every single bit of your life is intentional. Every single thing that's around you and every circumstance that's happening around you is intentional. And I want to speak this word as a word of encouragement to somebody that could be watching this video today and you don't know if your life has any meaning or it has any direction. I want to encourage you that we serve a God of intentionality. And just like that town planner that was so intentional about creating the structure of the city and the roads of the city, many a times we don't know that everything around us is intentional because we have not flown at a higher altitude. We're not able to see the situation from a higher altitude and a different angle. And so today, I'm going to be standing in faith with you that God will elevate your eyes and your spirit to be able to understand your situation, what you are going through from a higher altitude. So altitude is everything. Your perspective is everything. And in any situation, when we lift up our eyes and we're able to see things from God's altitude, we're able to lift up our spirits to see from God's point of view. Any situation that could have looked like a giant, that could have looked impossible, will turn to absolutely but nothing in the presence of a person at a higher altitude. There is a certain order even in your chaos, even in your mess, even in your difficulty, even in the place where you're about to give up. God can use and turn around that situation just so it can work in your favor. The Bible says that He alone knows the thoughts and the plans that He has towards us, and they are plans to prosper us and not to harm us. I want to encourage you today, God has a plan and a purpose for your life, and just like that town planner, He is completely committed to order, and it might look like it's not orderly at this point in time, but if you would just fix your gaze right up and look at that situation once again from the place of prayer, you will be able to know that your life still has purpose and that God still has a plan for your life. I hope that this has been a word of encouragement for somebody. Make sure that you purchase my book, Hosting Heaven, Learning to Hear the Voice of God for Your Life. It is available on Amazon, it is available on Kindle and iBooks, and I hope that it will be a great and powerful blessing to yourself. God is calling you and I deeper. Let us host.